At a quiet roundabout on a road in the Ferguson Valley of Western Australia, you can't fail but notice that a large population has suddenly appeared. Yet, there are no gazetted towns on the map. Thousands of eyes stare back at you as you hop out of the car. It's not a spooky place at all. In fact, this place seems to be filled with joy. Welcome to Gnomesville. In the middle of what seems to be nowhere, thousands of gnomes from all over the world have gathered to have a good time. There is no discernible pattern to Gnomesville. There is no admission to pay, no sense of planning. Gnomesville looks like it has just become. In fact, Gnomesville began many years ago as a protest against a new alignment for the existing road. A new T-intersection was mooted to be built, and the local residents believed this to be a dangerous plan given its location at the bottom of a hill. So, the local humans protested, and the town burghers ensured that a roundabout was built instead, a decision that did seem to be wiser and certainly safer than the original. The first gnome appeared as if by magic in the middle of the roundabout just after its completion. Some local official moved the gnome from the roundabout to the side of the road, where many more gnomes magically began to appear. After all, gnomes get lonely. They need good company. Gradually their little community grew. When I was visiting Gnomesville, I met a charming elderly lady who was on an outing with her carer. I estimated her age to be in the late 70s, but she was still sprightly and chatty. She told me that she had left a gnome there just after her son died at age 11. So that must have been an awfully long time ago. She said that she liked to go back and visit him whenever the opportunity arose. To remember your son by visiting a gnome rather than a grave seemed to me to be a very positive thing. So, now I knew that Gnomesville has true meaning for many. It is much more than a collection of small statuary. It is where the spirit of loved ones live on. Over the years, thousands of gnomes have been placed there in whatever spot can be found. Much of the work that went into creating the paths and bridges which ford the stream and curbing which keeps the place neat was carried out by a local farmer, Kevin Campbell, in his own time and at his own pace, often with materials that had been donated by others. A memorial to his work now stands in a spot near where the first gnome appeared. About 30 of the gnomes were set there by Kevin's wife, Vicky. There are many different attitudes represented in Gnomesville. Some are sad, being dedicated to deceased loved ones. Others represent the members of families or groups, such as service clubs, who are very much alive, but who wanted to leave their mark. Many have a humorous aspect and were left by people just hoping to give others a laugh. In that sense, the gnomes represent a typical human community, and they have appeared through the generosity of people who have willingly contributed to this fascinating scene. Essentially, Gnomesville is about people wanting to do something for others to enjoy, and it is a place which astounds with delightful surprises. Each visitor is invited to leave a gnome, or gnomes. The only proviso is that you write the gnome's name on its hat, and we know that all gnomes wear hats, plus the date of arrival somewhere on the gnome, so that the gnomophiles can keep a record of each individual. Some people adorn their gnomes with terrible puns. There's gnome, place like gnome, being the most popular. Poor Gnomesville has never been officially gazetted as a town, although it probably should be. It is definitely located on the wrong side of the tracks, even more so since a new highway was opened up several kilometres to the west of the former major route, the South West Highway. The popularity of the new highway has reduced passing traffic by a considerable amount. Even so, Burracup, the small town that is the gateway to the Ferguson Valley, is very easy to miss. As you travel along the South West Highway, Burracup is located on the other side of a main train line and is shrouded by trees. Unless you absolutely positively know that you want to visit Burracup and journey on further to the Ferguson Valley, there's not a lot of signage to entice you in. So, just getting to Gnomesville can be a challenge, which is a real pity. When you visit Gnomesville, you do feel that sense of belonging, because each gnome means something to someone. It is a very uplifting place. In Gnomesville, you can sit and reflect, or laugh at the more absurd collections. As already acknowledged, Gnomesville is located on a back road, so it doesn't see a lot of traffic. It isn't really advertised far and wide, so most travellers don't know about it. This may be a good thing because gnomes probably don't enjoy being continuously disturbed by humans wandering over their domain. Unless you know better, Gnomesville is a sort of place you just stumble upon, and that is part of the delight, for it is a very pleasant discovery. In fact, to borrow from those previously acknowledged terrible puns, you could say that it's a bit of a phenomenon.